been an architect forever. She's really successful and blah, blah, blah. And that's so
amazing.
awesome. Yeah. And that sounds like you. But I've been like the person it's like life is full of adventure. It's full of adventure. It's one adventure after another. So that's cool that you're like thinking that, you're going to be open to that, because that's what makes life so interesting.
And I've known what I wanted to do my whole life, or what I thought I wanted to do, but like, I still want to do that. And I'm still so passionate about being a neonatal nurse eventually. But I know that there's like no linear way to get there. Like, I don't have to do it right out of college, and I don't have to stick with it if I don't want to, or if that's not something that I love, then when I get into it, like, I can change my mind, and that's okay. So I think I've always been your friend who is an architect, but I think I'm getting a little bit more of the wanderlust, and like thinking about what I want to do with my future, and not putting myself in the same box that I thought I was in when I was younger.
Well, this is great training, this orientation training. Maybe I should sign up for it.
More than welcome.
I need to come on down to Stockton. Yeah.
Stockton University.
Okay. You were talking about you knew that, like, your brother when he was born. That I think that is so cool that really touched you.
Yeah.
And gave you the inspiration to do that. Excuse me. The fact that, what is it about, like, the baby nursing, the neonatal, what is it about that specific choice that you made that you really love, that keeps you there, you don't sway. I'm like, well, I think I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that.
So I actually just finished my NICU clinical this semester. So we did a little bit on the mother-baby floor and then in the NICU. And I really loved it. Like, I wasn't sure when I went into it, because you never are when you think you have this dream, but you've never done it. And then I did it, and I was in there, and I was holding the babies and feeding them, and like, they were just so, like, for lack of a better term, they were helpless. And like, I felt like I was someone who could help them. Like, I could give them what they needed to survive and to thrive. And you never know what they're going to grow up to. And so I think that that's what really keeps me going, is like knowing that they have a future because of something that I'm doing. And that's something that I really want in my life, is to like make an impact on people. And if that's the way that I can do it, then I'd love to, because it's something that I'm really passionate about, and I just enjoy it so much, because of the impact that I am having.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously you're having it in the sorority as well, so you must be mentoring, other sisters, obviously, how it works with the big sisters and their family and all that inside the sorority. But what did you have the same thing when you were coming up through the ranks in the sorority? Did you have someone that mentored you or that you looked up to?
Yes. So actually, my big graduated my second semester in my sorority. I'm still extremely close with her. She's still someone that I look up to, such a role model for me. She is just a beautiful person. And I also had another role model who I met on this outdoor adventure retreat. She was my mentor for that program. And she is in Tri Delta, and she has been someone that I've looked up to for my entire college career. I followed in her footsteps. She did everything that I did, and she paved the way for me to become the person I am today. And so her name's Bruca, and she is just a beautiful light of life. And she is kind of the person who also told me it was okay to change my mind. She was a psych major all throughout college, and then her senior year, she decided that she wanted to go into higher education, and now she's at one of the best schools for higher education. She's attending in the fall for the grad program, and so she's really inspired me throughout my Tri Delta career, throughout my Stockton career, and I think she's definitely going to be one of my lifelong friends and lifelong role models. But specifically in Tri Delta, she taught me what it meant to be a good sister to other people, and to show, to lead by example, and to go to all of the events, and to go to other people's events, to show that like unity is really something that's super important to the sisterhood, and to others as well. And so she's someone that I look up to in the chapter. And even though she won't be at Stockton anymore, I think I'm still gonna do everything and think about what she would do before I do things, especially as president.
That is a beautiful story. I mean, it's so helpful to have like people like that are like a support, a support network. And the sorority in general for me was, I lived in the house and it was just like beyond. It was like support on steroids.
That's an amazing experience.
It really is. It really is. So how did you know that you wanted to be in a sorority when you went to college, or did something happen that like sparked your interest?
So actually I watched the show Greek on Netflix. It's like a really stereotypical sorority and fraternity show. But it's what introduced me to the idea of a sorority, because no one in my family had ever gone into Greek life. So my dad was really the only person I knew in my family who had been to college or who I knew of his college experience. And so he wasn't in a fraternity, and they had no idea what sororities and fraternities were. So when I watched that show, though, and I was looking at Stockton as the school I was going to go to, I clicked on one of the home pages, and it brought me to their Greek life website. And so I did like look through the sororities that were on campus and what each of their philanthropies were, and I had like no idea what each of them were. And I had one friend, I think, from my high school who was in a sorority here, because Stockton's pretty close to home for me. But that was it. Like, I didn't know anything other than that. But I think I did know that I wanted to be in a sorority and I wanted to have that sisterhood, especially because I was on teams throughout my entire high school experience. I ran track, I ran cross country, I did soccer for the first part of my high school career. And so I was always on teams, and I knew coming into college I wasn't going to have that team atmosphere, but I also knew that within a sorority you could have the same type of support in that sisterhood. So I think I did know that I wanted to be in a sorority, but I wasn't completely sure until I got to college and I went to formal recruitment, and I was the only one of my friends that went out for formal recruitment. I think I had one other person that went with me, and now we're in the same sorority, and she's my best friend.
That's awesome.
But I didn't really know until I was there and I was doing it, and then I was in Tri Delta.
I asked because it's such it's a controversial now. It feels to me like across the country, the Greek system, because of all the things, the negative things, and there's not enough positive news about what, like you just mentioned, the philanthropy, for example, and all the good work that we do. And it's too bad, because if more people knew that, they wouldn't be so down on it. But I just love the fact that it just promotes the sisterhood. I mean, you keep talking about it, promotes the sisterhood, the support network, people to inspire you, people to mentor you. It's exactly what I'm trying to do at Supergirls. And I, of course, was inspired by the sorority life. But if you don't have a sorority in your college, it doesn't matter, because it's not just about that. It's more about like just bonding with other women and the magicalness of that, the magic of that. So, well, thanks for sharing all those amazing stories. I have to ask you one last question because we have to wrap up. And I always ask my guests this very important question is, what is the one piece of advice that you would give to other college women getting ready to launch?
So the one piece of advice I would give is know that it's okay if you don't have yourself figured out. It's okay if you do, but it's okay if you don't too. Because I feel like I do have my life figured out, but then I know that it's okay if I change my mind and I go into something completely different. And just to be confident in whatever choice that you are making, because it's the right one. Whatever path you're going down, that's the right one for that path, and you'll get to where you need to go. But just be confident in those choices that you're making.
That's amazing, Miss President. No wonder you got that job. You're such a leader. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. I cannot even tell you. I'm bubbling over here with love, Delta love. If our listeners want to talk to you more about anything nursing, sororities, Stockton, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me through my email, probably would be the most likely form of communication for me, just because I'm on there 24/7 for TriDelta and for my other jobs. But that is massey@go.stockton.edu.
Go Stockton. Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much again for being with us. And I know you and I have to connect again soon about the event. And I'm so excited again. I want to express my appreciation for that. Yeah, me too. So thank you for that. But thank you all for sharing all these beautiful thoughts and stories with our listeners. And
thank you so much for having me.
And muchas gracias, my love. So, listeners, thank you for being with us, listeners, on the Hero Whispers here with Miss Isabella Massey, superstar at Stockton U. And keep tuning in because now we're big time on iHeartRadio. And we are super excited to have the Hero Whispers as part of the iHeartRadio family of podcasts. So until then, the next time, get out there and slay those dragons.